Have you ever been online on Facebook or something and you come across a recipe that looks really good and you wonder to yourself, is it really as good as it looks like it is? Well, come along with me as we prepare some of these recipes and give them a try. And at the end of the video, I'll come back and let you know how my family felt about it, and if it was really as good as it looks like it is, and if it's worth you giving the recipe a try. Today, we're going to make cabbage stir fry from ifoodreal.com. Let's get cooking. All right, the ingredients for the cabbage stir fry. We have 5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of sesame oil, 3 large garlic cloves. This is supposed to be 2 inches of grated ginger, but I was having a hard time grating it, so it's probably a little less than 2 inches worth. 1 pound of thickly cut carrots, 4 green onions, 2 pounds of cabbage cut into 2-inch cubes, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, brown rice noodles, and because we like meat in our meals, we are going to add chicken to our stir fry. Let's get cooking. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I put some oil in the frying pan, and I'm just going to cook up the chicken first. Again, chicken is not part of the original recipe, so I'm just adding this after I get the chicken in the frying pan. I'm going to put some salt and pepper and some garlic powder on it just for a little flavoring. When the chicken is done, then we'll start the actual recipe. While everything else is cooking, we make up the sauce. In a small bowl, we're going to combine the soy sauce, the garlic, adding in the rice vinegar. This is just water, 2 tablespoons of water, and the hard one, 1 tablespoon of honey or maple syrup. And we whisk it all together. Well, it's a good thing I read the package on my bag of rice noodles. I don't think I got the same kind that they were expecting in the recipe, because the recipe just said put it in boiling water for 3 minutes, but the package says to soak it in hot water for 25 to 30 minutes and then boil it for 4 to 6 minutes. So I have the chicken still cooking, haven't added any of the vegetables yet, and I am now soaking the noodles in some hot water. Hopefully everything will still be ready at the same time. So check your package of noodles and make sure you're cooking them right. The chicken looks totally done, so I'm going to take it out of the pan, put it on a plate to add back in after the stir fry with all the vegetables is done, and mix it together. Alright, the first thing you do is you put your sesame oil in the pan. Oh, my pan is plenty hot. And we saute up the ginger and the garlic. For those of you paying attention, you'll see I put the garlic in 2 different places. I was only supposed to put it in here and not in the sauce. It's a good thing. The family likes garlic. All right, after we saute up the garlic and the ginger, we add in the carrots and the cabbage. We give it a stir, and then we cover it up, cooking it for 6 minutes, stirring it only once. I probably needed a bigger pan. All right, the cabbage is starting to cook down. It's not done yet, but it is cooking down. You can see all the cabbage is getting a nice coating of the sesame oil with the garlic and ginger on it. It's got a nice smell of that ginger oil. I really like that smell. As you can see, the cabbage is not quite done yet, but it's getting close. So I did turn on the burner for cooking those rice noodles because I need to bring that to a boil and then cook them for 4 to 6 minutes. So hopefully I'm timing this well and it'll all be done at the same time. All right, the cabbage is all cooked up. It looks all nice and soft now. So we mix in the sauce. And at this point, I'm going to put the chicken back in. And at this point, I am once again wishing I had a bigger pan to cook this in. I'm supposed to mix the noodles in here as well, but I think I'm just going to plate up some noodles and put the stir fry on top because I just don't see it all fitting in my pan here. All right, I have the cabbage stir fry with chicken added, all plated up. It looks a little plain. Everything looks about the same color, but that doesn't mean it won't be tasty. So I will be back after we have dinner to let you know if you should give this recipe a try. So we just had the cabbage stir fry. There's a few things we would change, but it was delicious and we will definitely be making this again and recommend you do the same with these couple modifications. First of all, although I used a very large skillet, we will definitely be using our larger wok in the future. Remember, I couldn't get the noodles mixed in, so I served them on the side. When they were on our plate, trying to stir the noodles in, it didn't work so well. When the noodles were covered in the sauce, they tasted better. They were a little sticky and had an odd texture when they were not covered in sauce. But when we were able to cover them in sauce, we had no complaints whatsoever about the noodles. We had never had brown rice noodles before. Covered in the sauce, they were an excellent part of the meal. Remember, I added chicken to the meal. We will continue to add chicken to the meal. It added a nice texture difference compared to the other items in the meal. But honestly, the chicken was our least favorite for all three of us, was our least favorite part of the meal because everything else was just so excellent. The only other difference we would do is some of the cabbage pieces were a little bit bigger than others. The thinner pieces of cabbage, even though the recipe says to cut them in 2-inch pieces, we will cut them narrower. They seem to cook a little better, cut narrower. Also in a larger skillet, the wok, they will probably cook better because I can stir it up better. This recipe, like I said, was excellent and we will definitely be having this meal again and we recommend that you try it as well. Well, thanks everyone for joining me today. If you have a recipe you would like us to try, please leave a comment below telling us about it. If you've given this recipe a try, please let us know how you feel about it. And as always, let's keep cooking.